Hello, fellow crafters. Welcome to the craft. I have an interesting concept for you today. Think about this for a minute. Say you had tables and desks that you could change out the top. So what that means is you don't have to make a separate table and desk for every single different top you have. You could just make a few and then make a bunch of different tops and just replace the tops as needed in game or just before you play. So or even when you're playing. So I think this is a really cool idea. So let's hit the table and I'll show you what I came up with. To start off with this craft, I got this bag of rectangular wooden shapes, and these are going to be perfect for our tabletops, okay? So what I did is I got the smaller one and the larger one. I got a coffee stirrer and cut to the length of the piece, and then I have these half-inch cubes, okay? And I got these cubes at the craft store also. So one version, I'm going to use the cubes, and I'm going to glue the coffee stirrers to the backs of the tables here, just with white glue, just with my Elmer's glue all. Let that set up for a second. And I'm going to do another version where I use posts, and I got these kind of spindles, and I'm going to use 3/4 inch washers for the bottom, and that'll kind of give it weight and help it to stand up. So I'm just going to put some goop on here, stick those to the washer, and let those harden up, dry up. All right, now my wooden pieces are dried. Do some more on here, and put them on two on the bottom of the larger piece, the larger table, and then one on the bottom of the smaller table. And with these tables, this is not medieval Europe. You don't have to have everything look like medieval Europe with have 4 legs, right? Okay, so there's the smaller table. I'm just using one of the posts, and for the larger table, I'm using 2 of the posts, which are just the spools. All right, cool. Now I'm going to kind of reinforce this with some white glue, go around the edges there, and kind of push it into the crevices. That'll just give it some extra strength and support, right? We don't want this to come apart at all. Oops. And just put the glue around the joints there. All right, cool. Now we'll let this dry up. And then I'll paint these flat black and we'll be ready to go. Okay, I've painted it flat black, spray painted it flat black. And these are the ones with the posts. And same thing with the ones, with the blocks. The ones with the blocks are a little shorter. So I painted that up with burnt umber. And I'm going to use kind of a medium brown. You could really use anything you want. And I'm going to kind of dry brush it on with a stiff bristle brush. And I'm going for that kind of, wood grain on it, right? It already does have some wood grain because it actually is wood, but that helps reinforce that. So I'm not painting the whole thing brown like I did with the dark brown. I'm just kind of dragging the brush across the surface. Now I'm going to use a tan as a kind of a highlight. And I'll hit the edges and that kind of thing, and drag it lightly across the surface. Gives a nice worn look. So very cool. All right, now I'll finish this up and we'll hit our table, and you'll see how cool the magic trick to these interchangeable tabletops. So get ready, here we go. All right, here's our first tabletop, and it's like a desk. And I have these chairs. You can check out my video on how to make those. And here's the table. But here's the cool part. I use the same piece of wood, the same size as the other piece of wood from the bag, and look, it slides off. Isn't that cool? So you can have different tabletops without having to make different tables. That saves you so much work. Very cool. Let's look at some other ones, okay, guys? So here we go. Here's another one. Here's like a wizard's desk, right? And here's another chair I did, pretty cool. And check out my vid if you're interested in how I made those chairs. Super easy to do. And here we go. So same way, you just can slide the top off, and you have a whole different desk. So I have a little book, some books here, and a crystal ball and that kind of thing. So there you go. So cool. I really like this technique. Here's an alchemist's lab. All right, different beads, a skull, a little scroll. I have some spilled stuff on the desk. So a couple potions there. Really, really cool. I just love this technique. So it saves for me from making all these into separate tables. I can just use the few tables I made and then put the tops on top. Now here's one of the smaller ones with just one post. And here's like kind of a, like a money table, or like, what they have, maybe some money bags and a chest or something like that. So very cool, very cool. And that just pops right off there. All right, let's check out the next piece here. Set it up. And bam, we got another one. So this is kind of like a wash table or something like that. So just so neat. This technique just saves you so much time building all these different tables. We can just build a few tables and then add these tops. Just so cool. I just really love this idea. I hope you do too. All right, and the last one. This has like a, this is like a serving table. Has a little keg on there, some apples, and a couple glasses. Just really cool. I hope you guys like this technique. So let's take that off there. And yeah, you can. I didn't show the block tables. And it stays on there very well because it has that backing. That's the purpose of that, so it doesn't slide off so easily, right? And kind of like a notch, it keeps it in there. And just really cool. I hope you enjoyed it.